show of the summer.
Oh, thank
sure
you from your lips.
the number of TikToks and fans reacting to the trailer is actually crazy. How does it make you feel, especially when the show premieres in just a few days now and you already had the screening in New York?
It makes me feel, I mean, I don't even have words for it because I think we've all worked so hard to make this show, and I'm feeling, I don't know, it's been a long time coming. You know, the books came out 13 years ago, and I mostly just feel like really lucky and happy that so far it seems that the fans of the books are also happy, just just off the trailer and stuff they've seen so far.
Would you say that your vision is complete? Is this first season how you imagined it?
I think, yeah. And I think that's why I wanted to be the one to do it myself, because I had a really specific story I wanted to tell and the way I wanted it to look. And it's one of those things where when you are show running and you're the creator, I think that, you know, the buck sort of stops with you and you want to feel like you kind of laid it out on the field. And for this, I do feel like this is the story I wanted to tell. And yeah, I'm just so proud of our cast and everybody who helped make it. It's a bit surreal, I guess.
So speaking of the cast is amazing because the characters from the books are so loved by the fans. So how did you decide, yes, it's Lola, it's Gavin, it's Christopher and David, because they're all wonderful?
They are truly wonderful. And I knew that the most important piece of the puzzle was going to be figuring out Belly. So that's where we sort of started. We started looking for Belly first alongside our Conrad, because we knew that the chemistry had to be right for those two. And I think that when we saw a lot of really talented young actors, and that's, I think, exciting and heartening how many really gifted young people are out there like working on their craft. But there was just something about Lola that felt really special to me from the first time I saw her, that there was something so natural and pure and good about her that I knew would make a really beautiful Belly that people would root for.
That's how I felt when I watched it. I felt Belly it's her, you know, she's just incredible.
She is.
Speaking of rooting for someone, you know what I love about this series of books and now TV series is you don't know who you're rooting for. You're like Team Jeremiah or Team or Team Cam Cameron. It's just so well written that there's no obvious, well, no, he's terrible, or yeah, he's perfect. It's like, keep the three of them, Belly. How do you think people will respond to that?
I hope that we'll have, you know, some people who are Team Conrad, and some people who are Team Jeremiah, and some people who are Team Cam, because I think that's what makes a successful love triangle, is if you would feel heartbroken either way, that it's gonna hurt no matter what, because that's the hard piece of it, is the choice.
There's the debutant part of the plot that is kind of new. Fans of the books are actually looking forward to discovering this.
Some people love me, and some people were like, "What is this?" And so, you know, my feeling is like, it's really, because people were like, "What is this debutant?" It wasn't in the books, and to that I just say that, you know, for adaptation and for TV, I was really expanding the world a bit and wanting it to be a bit bigger. And to me, it was a great opportunity to show coming of age and to have this kind of ceremonial rite of passage with the ball. And also, I think it's fun to get dressed up.
And your reason to get dressed up. People are not generally in favor of changes from their favorite books or TVs and movies. And this time, it's great because it's a big change and it's a huge part of this season. And people are already welcoming it.
I hope people, I think when they see it, for anyone who has their doubts about it, I think people will like it, because to me, it's some of my favorite parts of the season, to see that kind of culmination of all the work that she's kind of putting in, and then, like, you know, seeing her walk across the stage. I think it's kind of emotional. So I hope people will like it. I think also, like, I had a really specific idea in my mind of how I wanted her to look, and the dress, I picked it way in advance, and everything, like, it just looks exactly how I was picturing it, which I wanted it to feel in many ways kind of like those old-fashioned black and white movies that we actually see a little bit of throughout the show when she's at the drive-in, when she watches Sabrina.
To me, it seems like this show is not only made for the fans of the books, but also for people who will discover these characters in this first season.
I think that I hope that for the people who are already familiar with the story, people who are fans of the books, hope they feel satisfied. And then I hope that people who are coming to it for the first time feel satisfied as well, just as a story, as a fresh new story for them. And then that they could go back and look at the book and see what changes were made and maybe understand why. Hopefully it'll just feel like a good story, period, for anybody.
And just to let you know, this interview will run after the release day, so we can talk about a little something, which is the soundtrack. I mean, Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish. How did you decide what kind of music background, like what kind of vibe you wanted for this show?
I feel like every summer there's always those songs of summer that when you think back to, important summers in your life, you kind of remember what was playing on the radio. So I wanted the music to feel like mostly recognizable songs. Because I think for me, music automatically makes me feel nostalgic and